Welcome. Welcome, and we're in the fourth. The programming is amazing. You always have to check with your calendar to make sure that you are pronouncing on the right sequence of things. But it's a new day. I wanted to mention the date today is, but who cares? What's important is that you are there, and we have been able to breathe the blessings of oxygen, and we are well. So together we have to join in this initiative and celebrate. Don't be hating now. Celebrate. There's a lot to celebrate. We are human beings, and we have a similar need for freedom. We have a similar need for want of provision, to live free, to experience what it's like to go to the shop and purchase the things that you need for your daily sustenance, and not just you, but your relatives, your family. We all have a similar interest. If we own a house, we want to know that we can pay the taxes for the house. If we are renting a house, we want to know that we can afford to pay our rent at the end of the month or whatever time schedule. We have a similar need as humans across the world. It's not unique to any country. We all have a similar need. One of the things I want to applaud Mandami, Zohar Mandami, is the initiative that he has regarding renters, regarding landlords. The initiative that he has implemented of rent freeze. Rent freeze meaning that landlords cannot raise their rent. Whatever it is, when he took office, it has to stay there. If they have to raise their rent, they have to justify to the council, to the city council, as to why. I applaud that, because in every country you have the abuse of landlords, and because of the fact that a lot of the people who are renting apartments, a lot of the real estate individuals are politicians. They're either a part of the General Assembly or they are in the ruling government. So they would never see laws enacted that will favor persons who rent houses, consumers. Even though the laws are there on the books, they would never highlight it or enforce it, because the people who are benefiting from the abuse of renters and the persons who rent buildings are politicians, lawyers, doctors, all the people who are owners of buildings and apartments and developers. They're the ones who bribe and pay politicians. So I'm happy about this Mandami guy. Clearly, he has no interest in the real estate industry, because if he was one of the persons who was renting buildings, he would not do that. It means that he cannot exploit his tenants every year, raise the rent, not to paint the building, develop infrastructure, do anything to the property. Just raise the rent. So I applaud that. That's something I want to see happen in Guyana. The previous government in Suriname, Santoki, I had talked to him about it on one occasion. I said, why don't you make this a policy that the local people who are renting buildings, who are real estate persons, cannot exploit their tenants? Why can't you enforce that? You're going to keep support amongst the majority of the citizens. I told him that. But then I learned that it's a complicated issue. Why? Because all the people in his party are the ones who are renting buildings. He couldn't do that. He's going to offend the people that are backing him. And as a result of that, people are complaining about every year their rent goes up. In Guyana, I hear the same thing. When governments truly represent their people, that's when people would die for their governments. You see how they celebrated the loss of Maduro? Because he never stood for the people. He was not a man of the people. His government had nothing to do with the people of Venezuela. They exploited the people of Venezuela. So the people of Venezuela celebrated. A lot of them would have wished he was shot on the site. They don't want them to take him alive. They wanted the Americans to kill him with all the other people. That kind of sentiment you keep getting from citizens when they live in a country and their governments don't represent them. What is sad with a lot of these government officials is that they forgot the times when they used to pay rent. They forgot the time when they used to go into the shops and cry over the rising prices. They forget about that. They forgot that they used to cut their gas money in half just to keep some money to buy food. They forget all of that. They conveniently forget that they struggled. When they get into power, meaning become a minister of something, of some government, overnight, they were born with a gold spoon in their mouth. So hearing the cries of people, they're disgusted by it. Stop complaining. Shut up. Be content. Yeah. I can understand Azruddin Mohammed pretending that he knows what it is to struggle, or he knows what poor people are going through. I can understand him pretending, because the fact is he doesn't. He has never, ever been poor. He's never worked in his life. He had everything handed to him in a gold spoon. He doesn't know what it's like to wear an underwear, a boxer, wash it overnight, get up the next day, and put it on while it's still cold. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know about putting a pin in your slippers because the thing that held the strap broke. So when you walk with it, it's loose. He doesn't know about taking a shoe to the shoemaker. He doesn't know about stitching a button on your shirt after it's gone. He doesn't know about scraping the bottom of the pot when your mother is finished because you're still hungry and you take the burnt stuff. He doesn't know about that. So him pretending that he knows, just to hide in the shadows of the poor people to protect him from the Maduro's fate, is being hypocritical. And if you believe that, then you are dumber than he is. But what I'm saying here, a lot of the governments around the world are condemning the Americans' initiative. They're condemning, they're calling for the return of Maduro. They're calling for this and calling for that. Even though the Americans for months broadcasted that they are going to take him. For months. They told the world, there's no surprise. The entire military, 30% of the military fleet is in the Caribbean Sea. 15,000 American soldiers. They told you, hey, this is coming. Why is it that all of us, not me, are acting surprised? I can't believe the Americans do that. Oh my gosh. What's surprised about it? They've been bombing boats for months. There's nothing surprising about what happened. They told you what they're going to do. Trump announced every time he gets a chance, inform the world, I am going to take Maduro, dead or alive. Luckily, he took him alive. That was a deal that was done, signed, sealed, approved. You know what sanctions is? You know what an indictment is? You don't go back on that. If you are indicted, you are indicted. There is no rescinding of that. It's a done deal. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Don't act surprised. The Venezuelan military knew this was coming. They were prepared for this. They understood they have no chance. Don't resist. Don't fight against the Americans. Back off. It ain't your fight. Maduro was an illegal president. He robbed the elections. He rigged the elections. I wished Donald Trump existed in the time of Forbes Burnham. He was alive, but he wasn't, old enough to get involved in these things. But if this was the Burnham era, I can see this happening to Burnham. I can see the American Special Forces going into Guyana and liberating the Guyanese people from the demon king, Burnham. I can see a similar fate. I wish Burnham had faced that kind of reality. But he got it the easy way. He died of natural causes, thanks to the CIA. But the point is, I would have been satisfied if they had taken Burnham out the way they took out Saddam Hussein, the way they took out Maduro. Well, he's still alive, but in that kind of dramatic movie kind of environment, it would have been justice for the Guyanese people. And we all would have celebrated. So now, folks, our president, Irfan Ali, he understands his role as a president. And I want to guard your mind against this. President Irfan Ali, as what we know, the whole country, was not born with a gold spoon in his mouth. He was born into a family where both parents worked. And what kind of job? Teaching. Teaching. If your parents right now, father and mother, are teachers, and you're living in that home where your parents are teachers, you can identify with Irfan Ali. Do you consider yourself rich? Do you consider yourself a gold spoon in your mouth with having two parents that are teachers? No. You are not even middle class. If you live in a house that you're not paying a rent, it's not because your parents, maybe they inherited that from their parents. Ancestral wealth passed down. So Irfan Ali was not a gold spoon kid like Azruddin Mohammed. Irfan Ali understood what it's like to walk to school, to buy lunch and eat with the other kids, to ride a bicycle, to take the bus, the minibus, to hitch a ride on a donkey, on a horse cart. to go to the market with a plastic bag, to wear one pair of shoes, to go to college every day, to use a bag, a backpack, when there's a hole on it. He knew what it's like to live like that, to buy a Chinese food and part it amongst his friends. He know what it's like to ride one of these, what do they call it? These bicycles from India, where the girl sits on the bar and somebody at the back. He knows what it's like to have two persons on a bicycle with himself. This ain't no kid that was born with a gold spoon in his mouth. He knows what it's like to live like the average, normal country boy. So, there will never be a time under the PPP where Guyana is going to have a fate like Venezuela. Never. Not with Jaglio, not with Ramata, not with Ali, not with Manik Chan, Priya Manik Chan. There will never be a time. Because these are people that were not born with gold spoon in their mouth. They know what it's like to want, to lust things but can't afford to buy it, to catch fish at the riverside and take home. This must be compounded in our minds that these people are not pretending to be first-class citizens in terms of materialism. They're first-class citizens by character. I'm a first-class male because of my personality. I'm not rich. Because of the character of the government that we have, these individuals are first-class citizens. That's why you should trust them. Their character has earned them the badge. That's why you need to trust your government. What has happened to Venezuela? A lot of Guyanese are implicated because of corrupt practices. Imagine a man who was born with a gold spoon in his mouth, who have no idea what it's like to even be close to middle class or poverty. He was born rich. He grew up in blood money. And such a person who have no excuse or justification when it comes to breaking the law, because he has no need to do it, but still lived a life of a criminal to the point where he embarrassed his country to be indicted, sanctioned, sought after, warrant executed, now facing extradition. Such a person didn't have to come into that reality. If Irfan Ali had done it, you would say, well, he grew up in need and took a chance, because after all, everybody wants a chance to be rich and to see what it's like to be rich. Then you can understand, you can try to justify. Because when you grow up poor or in middle class, you don't want to be like that, so you take chances. But when you're born rich, what's your justification? What is your justification? Bored? You're being bored? So you want to find ways to make more money, and the only way is somebody that can stimulate you, excite you by breaking the law and let the cops come after you? And that's the person a lot of you idiots voted for. That's the person you trusted their story, that they're innocent, They want to represent the Guyanese public. They want to be there for the people when all their lives they robbed the people. And only when the people turned around and came after them. Oh, I'm innocent. I only want to save the poor people of Guyana. Now look at the situation. The neighbor of Guyana who wanted to annex Guyana, who conspired with Venezuelan terrorists to bomb Guyana, who it has been established has ties to Venezuelan gangs, direct ties to Nicolas Maduro, who as a result of his crimes were sanctioned, indicted in a Florida court. All of these accusations, allegations are not allegations and accusations. They are a matter of fact, reviewed by a court of law, by a grand jury, that Azruddin Mohammed is an asshole. And you still believe that somehow this is all a conspiracy? You bought into his bullshit. Never did he condemn Venezuela or Maduro. Neither did the PNC. They never did that. They never condemned Venezuela, nor the PNC has. They used Ali and Jagdeo as justification, saying that because of their bad governance, that's why Maduro wants to annex Essequibo. They were giving Maduro the support to take over Guyana, to invade Guyana. They never criticized Maduro. That showed you because they were employees of Maduro, financed by Maduro to overthrow, to undermine democracy in Guyana. They believed Russia and China. They believed Iran, that nobody can touch Maduro. So if anything, we need to side with Venezuela. That's what they did. Azruddin sided with Maduro. He helped Venezuelans, illegal Venezuelans. And that's the man you want to get shot for? Really? He dismantled the Burnham Party. He devastated the Burnham Party. That's the man you black people want to fight for? You all said that Maduro is not going anywhere. A lot of you said that God is going to protect Maduro, as if you have a direct line to God, and God is sending you WhatsApp messages to tell you what he's going to do and what God is thinking. The same way a lot of you are saying, God is going to protect the Mohammeds. God told you he's going to do that. You're so special that God told you, you fucking idiot, that he's going to save the Mohammeds from extradition. Then why the hell are they going to court? Since God tell you black skunks that he is going to cover the Mohammeds, protect the Mohammeds, why are the Mohammeds taking lawyers to fight their case? Why not let it be, since God is going to cover them? Since you know God is going to do that. Why not? You telling me don't call God's name? You're blaspheming because you are lying on God. You said God will protect Maduro. You said God is going to cause the PNC to win. You said God is going to do this and do that. You said God is going to make sure that Ali doesn't go back. You said that, you black skunks. What happened? Ali won by 50,000 more votes. Maduro is in prison. Azruddin is on his way out in the next 5 days. Which God you were talking about? What? Your internet is up? Okay. Let me tell you what your God told me. Your God told me through Donald Trump that America is going to run Venezuela. Through Donald Trump, your God told me that America is going to run, control, govern Venezuela for the unforeseeable future. Could be forever. Who gives a fuck? The point is, the people deserve to breathe freely. And yes, Venezuelans did not discover oil. Did Guyana discover oil? Exactly. The white man did, namely the Americans, Europeans too. The white man discovered the oil, not the Venezuelan, not Guyanese, not even in Suriname. White people did. So by default, it's their oil they found in your territory. So cut the crap. Let the Americans manage Venezuela so they can deal with the oil properly. And if Guyana was governed by the PNC, I would have asked the Americans to invade Guyana and take it from the PNC and manage the oil. But since we have a good manager and we are seeing what this management team that we have is doing with the resources of the country that were discovered by the Americans, we want to leave Ali there. Let the Ali government manage the oil resources, the natural resources. They're doing a good job. If the minister, Vikram Bharat, is a crook, I'll call him out. I'll call him out. And I'll be one of the persons to criticize President Ali. If Vikram Bharat is a crook, and there's evidence that he is a crook, and the president knows he is a crook, but the president is turning his back, I will be the first to call him out. But so far, the only one you're pointing a finger to that is a crook, as you say, is Susan Rodriguez. But where's your evidence? Azruddin Mohammed wanted to fuck her, but she wasn't interested in him and his oversized clitoris, so he's now venting his feminine scorn by trying to attack that woman. And he ain't done yet. I wonder why he don't go after them blacks. You mean you're telling me only Indians in the PPP are corrupt? The blacks are innocent? You mean there's no corrupt black person in the PPP? Are you saying that black people are the better ones? Is that what you're saying? Or are you afraid to go after the black people? Azruddin Mohammed, you're afraid, right? You are afraid of those Negroes. You wouldn't dare do to any black in the PPP what you are doing to the Indians in the PPP. You wouldn't fucking dare. They will teach you what it's like to go against a nigger. You wouldn't dare because why? You needed protection from the ghetto. Correct? Yeah. Maduro is old news. We need to focus on the current news. We need to extend congratulations. Could be premature, but you know me. I like to call things out. Remember, I'm a prophet. I am the prophet of the PPP. I am the Guyanese voice, the prophet to the Guyanese people. I speak providence. I am your precious gift. What I say, you can trust that. And I'm telling you, Guyana would have its first ever female opposition leader. Oh, I ain't giving the president credit for this one. Mm-mm. I am not giving the president credit for this one. Because before the president said, could be a female, who says it got to be a he, it could be a she. I've been saying it for weeks before that. I have been saying that a Rastafarian is going to be the new opposition leader. I said that since last year. Since last year. So this ain't going on the president. They say no president said this. I said it. All right? But since the president is in the system and he gets information more than I do, when he says it, you can think back, hey, but Dr. Prasad was saying this for a while. If the president is suggesting that, maybe there's some merit to this. Because the president would know. And what would the president know? That for an absolute certainty, Azruddin Mohammed shall be extradited. That the president would know. So common sense would tell you now, after this lunatic is gone, and the Americans are they have a good sense of humor. Trump has a sense of humor. Trump will make sure that Mohammed goes in the same fucking pen with Maduro. This ain't funny. Donald Trump has a sense of humor. He likes to make jokes. And he would do it for fun. Make sure they go together. Let them join. Let them put them there. In one cell. Maduro, Shell Mohammed, and Lady Mohammed. Okay? Adrisha. Azurdisha. Put them together. That might be the funny thing. So the president will know that, hey, this is a sure thing. That's a done deal. No. So after he's gone, folks, who else in the Win party will take his place? Who else? Think for a moment. That lunatic sister that he has, that hen, that likes attention. I wonder how that white man is dealing with her. Meaning she is in the camera every day, all day. How the fuck he handles her? That's when you want to marry a billionaire's daughter. You become the bitch. You can't tell her shit. She's like, what? What have you brought to the table? Do you work? How much do you contribute? You're living off of my daddy's money. So shut the fuck up before I divorce your ass and you go back to Russia. He is just enjoying the free life. He's a freeloader. First white man that is a fucking bitch. A gold digger. But it's time men do it. Women have been doing that for centuries. You marry a rich guy and you suck on his money. It's time men get a taste of it, you know. Marry a rich girl and suck on her daddy's money. So he can't tell her shit. He can't say shit to her. She's in front of it every second. I have to talk and let President Ali understand that his name is Azruddin Mohammed. It's not a she, it's a he, and it's Azruddin Mohammed. Fucking idiot. Tell him yourself that your brother is a she. Sorry. A she-male. So maybe President Ali was suggesting that this is somebody with a mixed personality. You know, transvestite, transgender, a twin in one. a hermaphrodite. Your brother got a clitoris and a penis. Could be that he or she speak to whichever character of the brother. He's a twin. He's a twin. He could appear as a she sometimes, and he could appear as a he sometimes. When he's with Fatah, he's a she. Anyway, the opposition leader, and this is from leaked information. I have my sources too in the Win party. The person that they're prepping up, the person that they're discussing to replace Azruddin after he's gone, is the daughter of David Hines, the Rastafarian. She looks like a lesbian, is she? I see nothing about her that she got a husband or she got children. I don't see. I mean, a lot of these women, they're so pissed with men. I mean, they were married once, or they have a boyfriend, or they had just several children, daddy. But you know, after a while, when these women, they make children, they don't take care of their bodies, their boob starts to drop and just thing around like those African women in those tribes, the Zulu tribes, you know, where when they throw it over their backs, the boobs are so fucking, you know, like. So the men don't find them attractive anymore. They don't take care of themselves. To have sex with them, the man goes there. The smell is terrible. It's like, oh fuck, you can't breathe because the pussy smell is like nasty. Their mouth smell. You can't kiss them because they think that they make kids and that's it. It's done. It's over. And you have to ignore the physicals and say, well, you know, she made some kids, so I got to see with it. No, men are visual. Men are visual, meaning men get turned on with their eyes. If you don't look good, you can't get the dick up. A man wants to see something youthful. He wants to smell something youthful. So a lot of the women, after they make these babies, even though they're in their 20s and 30s, and they realize that men don't want to stick around them, they ain't got a choice. They start behaving like men themselves and attract lesbians. Just because they want to have orgasms still, with a fake penis and a tongue. It doesn't mean they're lesbians. It means that they're rejects. Men don't want them. So to feel appreciated, they got to hang around women. I'm not saying this woman is one of them, but like I said, a lot of women are like that. Black women, mostly. Here we go again. It's like when you think of something shitty, you can't help thinking about black people. You can't help it. Because black people are the ones who invented homosexuality. Black people invented slavery. Black people invented robbery. Black people invented murder. Black people invented homosexuality, meaning men and men, and women. It's an African thing. And black people, because of bullyism, exported that to the rest of the world. Bully the rest of the world and get them to accept that kind of lifestyle, like religion, Christianity. Yeah, blacks were the missionaries when it comes to everything bad. Oh yeah, I know that. That's the history. I hate black people by saying this. I'm telling the truth. It's a fact. Who's going to say it? If an Indian says it, you call him a racist. If a white says it, you call him a racist. I have to say it. Call me a fucking racist. Because it's the truth. It is the truth. Anyway, this woman is going to be the new opposition leader. She is the one the president was talking about. The she. That's the she, he said, will be the opposition leader. Now, you black people should be happy about that. You don't have to be led by this low-life criminal who is not even black. So you should be happy that the party that you replace the PNC with is going to be headed by a broke black woman. Yeah, she deserves the money. The $2 million a month, she deserves it. Azruddin was not going to accept it. He said it, right? Because he doesn't want it. Don't you think you should allow your sister to get that money? She can help buy medication for her father, psychiatric medication. Yeah, Azruddin is already on psychiatric medication. He's taking pills. Yeah, he's mentally fucked. He's a deranged individual. So he's under psychiatric care. He will get it free in a federal prison. He can also apply for sex change. Oh no, he can't get that. That's Biden. Trump ruled that out. So no, there's no sex change in American federal prisons anymore. I guess you have to just sag your pants, Azruddin. Drop your pants and they'll get the message. No boobs for you. And since you have an oversized clitoris, they'll just think that your ovaries are externals. They're attached to your clit. Instead of your balls, that's your ovary. Yeah, so they have to now get you pregnant through your ass and see what happens. But you're next. Because they said it. You are next. You and your father are next. You should have known better. You see how the dumbass Maduro didn't take the deal? Yeah, they offered him free passage. Go with your wife, enjoy your stolen money somewhere. But them gangsters that he have, tell him, fuck no. You go, we go. We can't go, you don't go. He should have thought for himself, but no, he's afraid of them niggas. He's afraid of them niggas that he had. Now look where he is. And the war isn't over yet. Trump says a larger scale attack is imminent. A larger scale attack. That was not large. That was just a warm-up. Because he knows the cartels in Venezuela will try to hit back to destabilize the country. Their locations are already covered. They know exactly where they are. So the Americans are waiting for any reaction to carry out phase 2. And phase 2, no prisoners. No prisoners. Everyone shall be eliminated. That's phase 2. In the meantime, Guyanese, you need to be prepared. Prepared for the aftermath that's going to happen next week. After the 6th, Azruddin will be extradited. You will have those thugs around the city there, the country, who may want to come out and do their protest for their boss. And the Venezuelans who still have an axe to grind will try to use that situation to try to create problems in Guyana. You have to be on the lookout for that. Anything that comes up that represents an initiative to destabilize or to contribute towards anything, political instability in Guyana, you need to shut it down. Quickly. And these people now, this woman, who is now going to be the opposition leader of Guyana, she has to start coming out and being more present in the public. You can't worry about Azruddin. He has to replace himself with you. That's what I heard. But they're trying to play the long game like Maduro. Maybe the God of the black people in Guyana will come true for Azruddin. He didn't come true for Maduro. Maybe he'll come true for Azruddin. Maybe he's going to speak to Trump and say, give the guy a break, man. Yeah, when they realize that Azruddin has nothing anymore, because he signed everything over to somebody else, get 100 people to take properties and cars and all these things, then he was like, why are we going after the guy? He's broke. We can't get anything from him. But this isn't about property. This is about you commit the crime. You have to do the time. You're a sanctioned individual. You were indicted. There's nothing there about forgiveness. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. You black churches can pray how much the fuck you want. You can do whatever obia you want. No one, absolutely no one, can stop it. Don't you see? Putin, Russia, China. As a matter of fact, on Friday, the day before yesterday, China had an official visit with Maduro in the Venezuelan palace. China gave Maduro a very expensive vase you put flour in with a plaque. They publicized it on Friday to tell the Americans, you see, we came to Caracas. We are meeting with Maduro. China is meeting with Maduro. We want to tell you, don't touch this guy. He's our guy. That was Friday. And a few hours after, Maduro is in US custody. Saturday morning. Who's the asshole here? The massive China try to show the US Friday, we're with this guy. And Saturday, the American says, oh, no, you're not. He's our guy. And we're going to get him. The Chinese were still in Venezuela when Trump took Maduro. The Russians were still in Venezuela. They didn't lift a finger. Now they're calling. Iran, China, Russia, and all of these others are calling. They're demanding, release Maduro now, or else. Or else what? Release Maduro now, or else what? They've said it Saturday, the whole day Saturday. Release Maduro now. And what did Donald Trump do? He came on his press conference yesterday and he says, we are going to run Venezuela now. Nobody is releasing anybody. I am going to control Venezuela. Where is Russia and China? So when you're sitting around Guyanese, when I'm saying you, I'm not talking about the good Guyanese. I'm talking about those niggas that follow the Win party. I'm talking to them. When you're sitting around and you are hoping for some miracle, for some foreign country, some foreign government to come in and try to stop the extradition of Azruddin Mohammed, who is going to come? Not even President Irfan Ali can stop that. Not even President Irfan Ali can stop the extradition of Azruddin Mohammed. Jagdeo can't stop it. Ali can't stop it. Nandalal can't stop it. No fucking body can stop it. They wouldn't risk it. Because the man is a criminal. He is a criminal. He was tried in an American court. He was sanctioned, indicted, and he has to go. This is not a political thing. Maduro was tried in absentia. He was sanctioned. He was indicted years before Trump got involved. That's why they put sanctions on the country. That's why. The Mohammeds were put sanctioned on because of their crimes against the American government and American people. This is bigger than Guyana. The Mohammeds case is bigger than Guyana. Stay out. Don't interfere, Guyanese. Don't interfere. When they're going to get the Mohammeds, let them thugs from those ghettos that were getting payment from him, let them go and try to block the local police force and the American force. Let them go. You don't go. Let them go and see what happens. They can go and be a shield and take the bullets for the Mohammeds. Either way, they still will go. They will still go to face their justice there in America. There is no getting away from that. There is no getting out of that. So Guyanese, again, I'm going to take it light on the new opposition leader, the woman, because it's the first time we have a woman there. So I'll take it light. I'll give her a chance and see what she does. Because I want the government not to slip up. President Ali alone can't do everything. There are people within his cabinet who might be bloodsuckers. You know, they might be corrupt, who knows? You need to have an oversight there, and it's better if it comes from the opposition, to look into checks and balances. And you know, women like to nag at everything. So having a female opposition leader is kind of good, because she'll be nagging the ears off of President Ali. Then he's going to say, then Ali is going to say, fuck, Jesus Christ, man, I should have given this guy a break. I think I would get it easy from this woman, but damn, she's worse than Azruddin. Nagging every second. Why don't you give my father a raise of pay? Why don't you give me a raise of pay? When do I get some government vehicles? Why this, why that, why this, why that? Ali would regret and say, man, I should have given Azruddin a chance. I should have told Trump, you know, let me see what he would be like as an opposition leader. But it's too late. I'd rather have a woman to nag than to have a sanctioned individual put the whole country at risk. So we need to congratulate the daughter of David Hines for being appointed by Azruddin Mohammed as the new opposition leader, or the leader of Win. So sometime in the future, maybe before the month of January is over, the parliament will convene, and then we'll have her sworn in, and then she'll take up her seat. Azruddin needs to tell his sister that. Hen, tell your sister that you decide to put this black woman in charge of the Black Party. Yes, it's not an Indian party. It's not a Muslim party. When we invest in Negro is exactly what it is. We invest. The invest is where he came in. His money in Negroes. It's black people using Indian money to invest in black people. We invest in Negroes. That's what the fuck it is. So tell your sister that the president is correct when he said it's going to be a she. Forget you heard him say it could be a he, it could be a she, and pretend he just said it could be a she, because it is a she, and she is David Hines' daughter. The racist, his daughter. So Indo-Guyanese and the rest of you, you must understand, you have no representation under the Win party. It's back to the blacks again. So you might as well leave their ass now and join the PPP. Come home. Come home to the PPP. And all the black people in the PNC understand it's another Norton. It's another racist Norton. Because David Hines' daughter, the Rastafarian, is also a racist. Look at her hairstyle. Most Rastafarian women are racial. They are what you call radical blacks. They believe in black supremacy, imperialism. Jesus is black. Black Africa. We're the first people. We're this. Black invents everything. That's the mentality. And that's the kind of person is going to lead the Win party. So you think as an Indo-Guyanese you have some representation there, then you're stupid. All of you who trying to cuss me out for Azruddin, fuck you. But you'll get your day in court. Because when you have that black woman leading your party, then you will see who the real ass is. You for supporting them. So you might as well take your mouth out your ass and go back to the PPP. The PPP is the only national party of Guyana, the only party that represents all Guyanese. It's not an Indian party. The People's Progressive Party is exactly what it is. The People of Guyana Progressive Party. You better go home to the PPP. Leave the Win Party and the PNC for the ghetto, for those thugs, for those criminals and racists. You don't belong there. The good black people knows that. They stand with President Ali. They stand with Vice President Jaglio. They stand with the People's Progressive Party because that's the only party that has the best interests of Guyana at heart. Don't make the mistake your ancestors made by joining Bornum. Don't do that. Azruddin will go and face his jail time. And based on what we know, that might be close to 60 years in prison. Close. So there's no coming out for him. You might as well just cut your losses, forget about it, wish him all the best in prison, and give him a pack of condoms to walk with. Not for him, for his boyfriends that he'll be getting. That's the best you can do. But in the meantime, don't curse your country. This is a serious time. War is on the horizon. I told you months ago, the war started. It started. It started. It started. You think I talk too much? Well, look what happened. It started, right? Yeah, bombs are dropping. Refugees will be crossing the border. Stand with your government. Stand with Guyana, because the Venezuelans can overwhelm that country, overwhelm my country, and they are more in numbers. They're millions. If 1 million Venezuelans come to Guyana, you're fucked. Stand with your government. The PNC don't have the resources. The Win people don't have the resources to protect Guyana, to save Guyana. The people who have the resources, the expertise, the know-how is the PPP, President Ali, and everybody who supports the PPP. We have the know-how, the resources to keep Guyana safe, to keep Guyana's sovereignty unique, and to keep Guyanese progressing. Stand with us. Always think about the interest of the People's Progressive Party. That's what you need to do. And you have no regrets. None whatsoever. Until next time, your friend is the Americans. Your enemy is Azruddin Mohammed and the Win Party. Goodbye now.